I can't believe it's the end of another year. On the personal front, I've had so many things happen and things that we did. My kiddo started preschool this year. We traveled locally a fair bit and did a bunch of stuff. Learned to cook a lot more as I continue to improve every year. I launched my first music album as just an experiment and learning the process. Launched a portfolio site, a forum, a PeerTube instance, so many things. I've covered a lot of that on the main channel, but I'm curious how my gaming changed since last year. If you remember, I put up a video last year going over my Steam year in review. We have Steam pulled up here, and I was kind of disappointed at how little I had played. So this year, I want to take a look and see if I did better. I know I really struggled. I gamed really hard in like January. Things were tough as usual. Put a bunch of time into Warframe, and I know spring I kind of struggled a bit, and then into summer I did a whole bunch again. And then as we transitioned from summer to fall, we did a bunch of stuff with the kiddo, and he started pre-K and whatever. I really fell out of it, and I've been picking it back up the past couple months. And I want to walk through what that looks like. So go to your username in Steam, year in review. This is our Steam Replay 2024. We of course had one for last year as well. This year you played a ton of new games and unlocked quite a few achievements. Here are a few of your highlights. 87 games played. That's 39 more than last year. I can attribute this in part to some of those videos I did, such as the Steam Deck on the CRT, where I was downloading demos and buying up a bunch of indie games to try out on my Steam Deck, as well as just playing more on my Steam Deck in general. I know some of it may count because I have been building up new Steam libraries on new computers, and it counts some of those as launching whenever I'm first downloading, but 8 demos, a playtest, which again, I have maybe launched but haven't actually played. I missed it. Quite the improvement. 39 new games compared to last year that I have played. Got 115 achievements. That's 30 more than last year. 26 games I got achievements in. 12 of them are rare achievements. That's kind of surprising, but given how many I've picked up even just from Marvel Rivals, I guess that's not too surprising. I did improve my streak by 5 days, up to 20 days straight of gaming. I'd wanted to have like a whole month this year. I think that was one of the goals I set last year. Did not work out, but 66 total games played during this 20-day streak. That had to have been, let me see, August 20th to September 9th. Yeah, that was probably that Steam Deck CRT video. I played a bunch of games then and was recording for a long time. Looks like my top 3 games are Baldur's Gate 3, of course. 26 sessions played, primarily playing this in co-op with my wife. Still, we made it to Act 3, and then we have very much stalled out as we actually got to Baldur's Gate, because there's just so much little things to do. The pacing got really weird. I'm hoping after the holiday we can pick it up and chug through it. Number 2 is one of 2 games that I beat this year, Dragon Age Origins. I completed the game as of a few days ago. I still have the Witch Hunt and Awakening DLCs to play through, so I haven't beat the whole thing, but I beat the core Dragon Age Origins campaign as an elf mage. I will talk about it more on the channel. This is actually the second BioWare game I beat this year. And then third is Warframe, 79 sessions, 15% of playtime. Again, in the early to midsummer, and then kind of in January, I put a fair bit of time in that, so that doesn't surprise me. How I compare versus the median. The median Steam achievement that people get in a year is 13, and I got 112 more than that. Okay. 87 games, Steam median is 4. Again, there's so many people on Steam that I don't know how much weight I put into this, although again, that's what the median is for. But I feel like it's really brought down by that, you know, how many people just have Steam accounts and don't play very much or anything. But there are a lot of people who will just play a couple games and really get through it, and I am someone who absolutely tries to play as many games as possible, as much as possible. Longest streak, 20 days, Steam median 6. Looks like my breakdown is 23% were new releases, games that released in 2024. That is surprising. 21%, 8 or more years ago. Not surprising. 56% were recent favorites, last 1 to 7 years. Nice. Looks like Superhero is definitely taking up time when... So this is both Marvel Rivals, which I've now put like 13 hours into, both with my wife and my Discord buddy group. We've been doing some game nights in it. I've been enjoying it. It's the first competitive multiplayer I've gone back to since kind of taking a break from that whole scene. And Superhero as Marvel Midnight Suns. Put about 12 hours into that. Been loving it on my Steam Deck when I like go, my kid has certain appointments where I gotta wait for an hour. Like I'll take my Steam Deck and just have it on. I've started finally at the end of the year here, I realized I could track my Steam Deck time better by having it connected to my phone's hotspot for internet. And then I just pause background downloads and just let it track my time. Because otherwise, if you play offline, it doesn't really track your playtime. It'll show it and then revert back to what was only tracked online. So we've got some Cyberpunk, Superhero, and a lot in action roguelike, which would be games like Hades. And honestly, I don't know what else I would have played in that category this year. A little bit of Brotato, a couple of them. I have subscribed to 26 workshop items. I think that was when I had briefly set up to do Skyrim. Never got back to it. Got 3 badges. Feels like nothing. I added 1 new friend. Congrats. I have gifted 1 game. I believe that is a game I'm currently in the process of gifting to my wife for Christmas, so it hasn't sent to them yet. Gave 1 community award. No clue what that was for. Made 1 discussion post. I think that was on the Steam game recording because it's very broken. Let's take a closer look at your top played games. Baldur's Gate. Yep. We were continuing our playthrough from last year. Made it real heavy early in the year and then kind of stalled out a bit. I'm hoping start of next year here we get back to it. Over here in December, I started up a modded playthrough just to get some footage for some videos. I do plan on playing that playthrough, but I don't really want to get too far into it until my wife and I have beat our first run of it. Then again, I beat Dragon Age Origins, the main campaign this year. Started it in September after I started Mass Effect around March, and we'll talk about that in a moment. So my wife and I were playing, last year we started Red Dead Redemption, Horizon Zero Dawn, and Assassin's Creed 1 last year together to play on the TV. Assassin's Creed was the easiest one to just keep jumping into because it has so many collectibles and easy objectives, but we got burned out really fast. The game is super repetitive, and we wound up abandoning it. We just said, we're not having fun with this anymore. Let's drop it. And so around that time in March, we switched over to Mass Effect. I beat that by end of June, early July. And then I was convinced to pick up Dragon Age. We thought we were going to play through all the games before Veilguard came out. That was not remotely realistic. I got 44% or 44 sessions played, 3-day streak. And actually, this is a later start. I switched to Steam when I switched my main gaming computer over to Linux because the EA launcher just wasn't cooperating. But my first 12 or 14 hours, I want to say, was on the EA app, not tracked in Steam. And so I think I started it in July, but you can see here, I really booked it at the end to finish it. I will be doing multiple playthroughs though. And then Warframe, September. I kind of remember this, 79 sessions. I always hop in, try in September. I forget that was the month we were super sick. We were so sick for the entire month of September. My kid going to preschool, we have been sick every weekend, if not every weekend, every other weekend. And like right now, he's dealing with an ear infection and pink eye and a cold, and I'm starting to get the cold and whatever. Like, it has been a big deal. And there was one week or weekend or whatever where I think it was a whole week, like he was just completely sick and couldn't go to school or do a whole lot of anything. And so when I had me time, I really couldn't even feel like working. I was just doing my Nightwave dailies in Warframe. I thought, hey, I'll try my hand at keeping up with it. And I did the end of the summer stuff, so they had like water gun fights and things like that. I couldn't stick with it. Dailies really make it hard for me in games, but tried it out, got some achievements, was a lot of fun. Put a little bit of time in Halo Infinite, especially in February. Like, I was trying to stick with it again. I just kind of gave up on competitive multiplayer. So the spike you see here in November was me actually picking the campaign up for the first time since launch. I put like an hour into it on stream and decided I was going to play through it on stream, which naturally for me meant I just never played through it. Wanted to wait for all the discourse and whatever to end, so I am ready to tackle it now. So I started playing the campaign again. Vampire Survivors, always good Steam Deck game. Stuff to test out. Playtime by month. Look at this. May. I don't know what we were doing in May, but we were so busy, I played nothing. Maybe that was probably when I was grinding Mass Effect every night with my wife. So yeah, we've got Baldur's Gate, Halo multiplayer for me, and then some miscellany in January, Baldur's Gate, Halo Infinite for me in February, and some Splitgate, Baldur's Gate, Vampire Survivors, so probably a lot of Steam Deck time as we're doing other stuff, and picking up some Battlefield. Love me some Battlefield 2042. Then June, July, and August are heavy in the I'm trying out a whole bunch of games for these videos I was making. So I had the Steam Deck CRT video, I had some of my PS2 emulator stuff, bunch of Warframe time when we got sick, and picking up Dragon Age Origins, and then leaning into Dragon Age and Marvel Rivals and Marvel Midnight Suns, which I've also picked up since beating Mass Effect and appreciate a lot more. The more I learn about it, the more it might be closer to Persona than a BioWare game. Marvel Midnight Suns, that is. But I treat it like a BioWare game, and I'm really enjoying it. Playtime. 55% on Windows. I have now switched to Linux as my main desktop operating system at my home gaming computer, and then Steam Deck. Nice even split there. Played the most quantity of games on Steam Deck, which again makes sense with the videos I've been making this year. I played a grand total of 65 games for 212 sessions on Steam Deck. 22% of playtime. It is hilarious that it has Warframe here. I am questioning if it's counting, because the Linux distribution I use is Bazite. So I'm questioning if it's counting that as the Steam Deck time, because I have not once, since I got my Steam Deck, gotten Warframe working on the Steam Deck. So I don't actually play it there at all. I don't even have it installed right now. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Splinter Fate. That would be another one of those action roguelikes. Been loving that game on my Steam Deck. During that 20-day streak, yeah, this was definitely for the Steam Deck video. So Metal Gear Rising, Hat in Time, Yooka-Laylee, Marvel vs. Capcom, Crawl, Brawlhalla, Gauntlet, Team Fortress. Yeah, very cool. Explore the games you played this year. Baldur's Gate, Halo, Warframe, Halo, Cyberpunk. Did play some of that in February. Splitgate, Halo, Guild Wars a little bit, Baldur's Gate. I started doing a Battlefront 2 in 2024 video and never got back to it. A little bit of RuneScape. Was trying to just find something I could play that would not be too distracting when I'm with my kiddo. Mad Mullet Jack, picked that up. I guess that's another action roguelike, potentially. Picked that up over the summer. Had a blast with it. Splitgate 2, played in the playtest for that. Played a little bit of Black Myth Wukong. Yeah. I dig this. This is pretty nice. Got some friends replays. And then had an interesting realization this year when going through these recaps. I don't have one for PlayStation this year. As far as I can tell, all the privacy settings and whatever are set up on my PS5. I simply did not use it enough. And that breaks my heart, both because the PlayStation 5 is an incredible console, but also because I have so many sick games for it. And I just, between being so busy and most of my game time being in the house with my wife, like on specific games that we were sharing together, I haven't put in time on it. So it is a goal of mine for 2025 to play through so many freaking PS5 games, because it is a beautiful console with tons of great features. And I just went to the GameStop the other day to pick up a game for my dad for his PS5. And there were so many little just random games that I didn't even know existed, nevertheless knew were on PS5. And wound up picking a few for me up. And when I get money again, I want to pick some more up. I have been putting a bunch of time into Astrobot this month, especially with my kiddo. Absolute blast. So 100% goal for next year, put in a ton more time on my PS5. Over on the Xbox side, this is mostly skewed by all the time my kiddo has put in on Minecraft, and I've played with him. So you see a lot of Minecraft time. Most of this is AFK, like just left the console on and went for a walk or whatever. So lots of Minecraft, whatever. But also you see my 49 hours put in on Mass Effect. Again, starting in the springtime, I picked up and played through, put about 35, I think, hours into Mass Effect 1. Almost 100% at it. Missed a couple tiny things. And then got a good chunk into Mass Effect 2 before I kind of got burned out a little bit. It's a very different game. And we kind of pivoted a bit to play Dragon Age. Trying to beat the games before the new one came out. And so we are seeing that here. Absolute blast with this franchise. And again, it's another one I'm already starting the multiple playthroughs with. I have already planned it. I've already got a whole bunch of mods lined up over on the PC side of things. I'm very stoked for it. And then this is my Minecraft for Windows time with my kiddo. Put some time into some other games. Definitely played Battlefield 3 before the servers shut down. Enjoyed that. Put in a little bit of Apex and stuff. But what you're... Orange box, I was probably just testing that for something. But what you're not seeing here is that Xbox actually lost me as a customer this year. This is the last year I'm going to feature my Xbox year in review, because they completely lost me as a customer and lost my kid, even though he's not old enough to make those decisions financially yet. Like, the consequences of that are minimal. But Xbox lost me as a customer this year. It started over the summer when their new policy for deleting your screenshots and saves from their cloud services went into effect. They put a notice for that on the screenshots settings page, which you'd have no reason to go to unless you were changing a setting. They did not email me. They did not notify me in any other way. Frankly, I wouldn't have been that bothered by that. The problem was they deleted all of the screenshots and videos from my local Xbox storage. And since releasing a video on this, I highly recommend you watch it. A bunch, like way more than I expected of you, chimed in the comments saying you've checked even older consoles that hadn't even been online in a long time, and all your stuff was deleted too. This was completely unacceptable. I am just shocked that they were stupid enough to do this. And like, I had tons of clips from my Mass Effect playthrough that I was going to use for a review that I now have to go back and capture, but also some of my earliest captures and memories of my kiddo learning to play his first real game for himself, Minecraft, were just completely erased from my Xbox, not from the cloud. The cloud is their domain, whatever, from my console. So it started with that, and I was like, okay, I will be done, but I wanted to play, you know, my kiddo was playing Minecraft on Xbox, and I wanted to share that with him. The account system, whenever they moved the Mojang accounts to Minecraft, like, it screwed my wife out of an account. We had to buy another copy for them. It screwed up the way that you connect for multiplayer and stuff. Like, I wound up buying a couple extra copies of Minecraft, trying to get my kid his own account to play with me online, because we couldn't share the same account to play together across PC and Xbox. And then it got to the point where I was going to have to buy him, even though he was in my family plan, a whole separate Xbox Live subscription just to make this work. And I was like, this is stupid. I went in the studio the next day, came out with a little mini PC for the TV, and he's been on PC ever since. And I'm just not going back. I've canceled. I was a 14-year-long subscriber of Xbox Live, or however long it was. Really, really long time. Canceled it. Not going back. My Xbox Series X right now, since I can't play multiplayer games, just is barren. It has nothing on it. I will probably take it to the house, load up Mass Effect back on it, and whatever we play at the TV, but like, they've lost me. I'm not spending another dime with them. So next year it will be Steam and PlayStation, and hopefully GOG does something like this next year. Just wanted to update y'all. I haven't been able to do a games I played recently video, because a lot of it has either been the same with Dragon Age, or I just had a couple months where I wasn't gaming, but I really wanted to share this with you. Let me know what your year of gaming looks like in the comments below, and remember to be kind. Rewind.